We've got this incredibly dangerous journey into the underworld, a clash of beliefs, and a whole bunch of interesting characters, each with their own goals.
Welcome to Book Haven.
Okay, so are we ready for another deep dive?
Ready when you are.
Awesome. All right, so today we're diving into Emily Rath's North is the Night.
Ooh, yes.
This is excerpts actually from the deluxe edition,
Nice.
the second book in the Twinella duet. And I gotta say, I'm already hooked. I mean, Finnish folklore, dark fantasy, mythical creatures. There's a lot to unpack here, but I'm curious, what really grabbed your attention initially when you first looked at this?
Well, I think the setting itself just feels like it's brimming with tension.
Okay, yeah.
You've got Swedish settlers pushing into this new territory.
Right.
Naturally, that's going to cause clashes with, the folks who already call it home.
Of course, yeah.
And then you've got this Christian priest who's actively trying to dismantle the old ways. So you've already got this kind of like societal, cultural friction happening.
Definitely, yeah.
But then on top of that, you have these mysterious disappearances.
Right.
And that hints at something way more sinister lurking beneath the surface.
It's that sinister element that really drew me in as well. And especially, like you said, those disappearances. They seem to be connected to this place called Twinella, which is a pretty central concept here. Now, for anyone listening who might not be super familiar with Finnish mythology, can you give us a little bit of a background on what Twinella actually represents and how it's portrayed in this world that Rath's created?
Yeah, absolutely. So in traditional Finnish mythology, Twinella is basically the underworld.
Okay.
It's ruled over by the goddess of death.
Yeah.
It's this realm of shadows and silence where, the dead reside.
It sounds pretty bleak.
Yeah, not exactly a vacation spot. But what's really cool here is that Rath introduces this witch queen figure.
Yeah.
She's this dominant force within Twinella, and that adds a whole other layer of complexity to the traditional idea of the underworld.
It's that witch queen that I'm super intrigued by. Is her presence challenging or maybe even changing the established power dynamics in Twinella?
That's a really good question. It seems like it could be. And to make it even more interesting, the excerpts mention that even Twinella's king has a particular interest in one of the main characters, Aina, who's been taken to this dangerous realm.
Okay, so there's something special about her then.
Right. It really suggests that she has this unique significance, maybe even a power that could disrupt the entire order of Twinella.
Wow. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about Aina and her relationship with Siiri, the other main character. The excerpts really highlight this deep connection between them. So in this fight against both, human and mythical threats, how do you see their relationship playing a role?
I think their bond is absolutely central to the story, especially with all the societal pressures and dangers they're up against. Aina being taken captive, that forces Siiri to go on this incredibly dangerous rescue mission into Twinella. And from what we see in the excerpts, this journey is going to push their love, their loyalty, and their resilience to the absolute limit.
Yeah, those themes, love, loyalty, resilience, they really jumped out at me too. It seems like, especially with folklore, these themes pop up a lot. What do you think it is about these particular themes that makes them so powerful, especially in a story like this?
I mean, they're definitely recurring themes, especially within Finnish folklore. If you look at something like the Kalevala, which is the national epic of Finland, it's chock full of stories about heroes facing impossible odds.
Right, I've heard of that.
And these themes, love, loyalty, and resilience, those are crucial for survival in those stories. They reflect, I think, this really fundamental part of what it means to be human, to push forward even when things are really tough.
I see, yeah. It's about fighting against fate. Like Siiri, she's up against these forces that decide life and death. It's almost like she's trying to rewrite destiny. And while we're talking about beautiful, powerful things, we got to talk about this deluxe edition, stenciled edges, foil stamped hardcover, illustrated end papers. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about these features that makes them so special for fantasy fans, especially?
Well, I think for a lot of fans, it's more than just a book.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of art. These little details, they elevate the book. It becomes a collector's item. It transforms the whole reading experience into something tangible, something you can really treasure.
Absolutely. All right, so just to recap, we have two young women. Their bond is being tested not just by other people, but by these mythical forces. We've got this incredibly dangerous journey into the underworld, a clash of beliefs, and a whole bunch of interesting characters, each with their own goals. What stands out to you as the most interesting element of this whole story, especially knowing it's so deeply rooted in Finnish folklore?
For me, it's the potential. How is the author going to weave these specific myths and beliefs of Finnish culture into the actual story? Like, could Aina's power, for example, be connected to a specific Finnish myth or creature? And how will those ancient stories, with all their wisdom about life and death and the power of will, how will those shape the choices the characters make? Ultimately, how will they influence the story's ending? Those are the questions that I'll be thinking about as I dive deeper into North is the Night.
That's a really cool way to think about it. It's like the folklore itself becomes a character, influencing the story, you know? So for everyone listening, as you start your own deep dive into North is the Night, remember to keep those ancient myths in mind. Think about how they might be shaping the choices the characters make, their struggles, even their triumphs. It adds a whole other dimension to the story. And that's something to think about as you journey alongside Siiri and Aina.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for joining me for another deep dive. Until next time.
See ya. Bye.
Grab North is the Night by Emily Rath, now on sale for just $19.01. Don't miss this chance to build good habits and achieve remarkable results. Click pre-order now today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.